All right, everybody. Sorry about that. We have been having some serious technical difficulties today with cameras, audio, and the list goes on. I want to introduce from highly blessed and flavored. Is that how you say it? Say it right for me.
Blessed and highly flavored
Blessed and
bakery.
highly flavored. I got it backwards because it's just been a
It's all
moment.
good.
We've been trying everything. So what was going to be a really long live show tonight may be a little bit more simplistic. We'll see how it goes, whatever we can do and what we can't do. I may go in and out to fix and check cameras. Who knows tonight? But I wanted to do a show every Friday night, and that's my goal. So welcome everybody to Dialogue. Hopefully you like the new intro. We're still going to be working on things, and I'm so glad to have my brother here.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thank
You
you
as
for
well.
coming out. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me, Joe.
Hopefully we got audio. Can you hear audio over there? Yes, no? You're not hearing any audio? I'm seeing audio levels over here. Can you hear anything? All right, we're going to double check to make sure we're good right now. Hold on, everybody. I know we just want to make sure. This is the part of being live that you have to do to make sure that we're good to go. But I see my green. I see that it's going. I'm looking at the refresh page. We're going to keep working until we get it. We're going to keep working until we get it. You got audio? All right. So I'm hearing that we got audio, so we're just going to keep going from there. Like I said, everything I've done, reboots, restarts, had to switch out camera. It's just been a long day. So Vincent, my brother, oh my God, so good to finally have you come out. Vincent was supposed to be on our first show, everybody, but things got all hectic and timed around. So now he's here for the third show to kind of bring it in. And what better way to get this thing started since we've been through a lot? Because I see Hennessy right there. I might break open that bottle
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But what are you going to be making for us tonight?
Well, I thought I'd do something simple this
Okay.
evening. It's Friday night. And
Friday
of course,
night, yes,
everybody
it is.
likes a good baked good.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
initially, I was going to do a full buttered pound cake.
Uh-huh.
And then I thought I would make it simple.
Yes.
Because of the process, it takes long to do a really good pound cake. So, with that being said, we're going to make mini bundt Hennessy, lemon, and coconut butter pound cake.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That sounds really good. So we have a couple of cameras. We have my camera from on top over here on high is not working tonight. So we're going to try to do what we can to make sure you guys are seeing everything that's going on. But I'm going to let Vincent start this party. So how do we start the first process? What do we do, bro?
Well, the first process is you want to make sure that you've got very good, fresh key ingredients.
Amen.
And here at the bakery, we basically do home baked goods, which is my slogan, home baked goods that taste like they should. And one of the reasons why is we always use the best fresh products, fresh eggs, fresh butter, milk, whatever that goes in the cake. We want it to be the best, that's on the market. So I think that people, when you want a good cake, whatever you put in it, it's what you get out of the cake.
Absolutely.
So, and
We
we're
want
gonna
it to be good.
We do want it to be good, of course, and of course, you're gonna top it off with a couple of shots of Hennessy, which always helps or enhance the flavor, and that's one of the big reasons why the business is named Blessed and Highly Flavored Bakery, because I go to no extreme to basically make sure that that flavor is in that baked good.
That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to go ahead and let them get started. What I'm going to do, since I've been messing with cameras and everything, so y'all can see me actually do it, I'm going to go wash my hands. So Vincent, go ahead, take it off, start talking right here, and I'm going to go wash my hands while you're doing that, bro. Go ahead.
Cool. Well, first we want to start off by, you want to make sure you get some good butter. The butter that I'm going to use is Land O'Lakes. Most baked goods are generally asked for an unsalted butter.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you.
Most of my baked goods are usually, the recipe calls for unsalted butter. So the recipe calls for 3 sticks of unsalted butter. And I was sharing with my brother earlier that the way you can tell that your butter is ready to use for baking is if you're able to bend the butter, if you're able to bend it, then that's a good note to basically make sure that your cake is going to be really nice and moist.
Okay.
So we're going to use 3 sticks of butter.
The more the merrier.
Oh, sure. You're going to help me, or?
No, I'm going to watch you. I'll take a
Okay, cool. Oh, great. Thank you. You're the best.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
I appreciate it.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited. All right, so here's what we haven't done yet. We haven't turned on this mixer while we have all these cameras on. So it might be a much shorter show than we thought. But we'll see how it goes.
Uh-oh.
All right, so you made sure that we have one unsalted butter because if you're having a recipe, it needs to be precise. So the unsalted butter as opposed to the salted butter guarantees you're not getting a salty flavor, or do you need to reduce salt if you actually have that for right measurements?
Well, I think that people get it mixed up because if the recipe calls for unsalted butter and then you're adding butter, that's like over salting the flavor or the texture of the product in which that you're trying to produce.
Okay.
So if it calls for unsalted, make sure that when your husband or wife, whoever goes out and get the butter, that it's unsalted. If it asks for salted butter, then make sure that it's salted butter. But generally, rule of thumb, unsalted usually works. And in most of the cakes that I do, unsalted butter works.
Unsalted butter works. All right. Is there a reason why a cake would say, you know what, this cake salted, this cake unsalted? Is there a reason we go back and forth on that, or is this, the baker's preference?
I think now, a lot of cakes now, in the age that we live in, are not doing as much salt versus back in the day. The salt and the baking powder, all of those ingredients basically help the cake rise or didn't rise or overrise or whatever the case is. So I think that the process is a lot simpler now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so also because we had all that technical difficulties earlier, certain things have already gotten started. I think we've got our oven a little bit preheated.
Yep.
I think we did a little bit with the pans. You may see my wife come in and out to help us a little bit if we have issues. You may see our heads cut off because like the audio and everything's gotten so jumbled up, but we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna have a good time while we're still doing it. So
Sounds
right now,
good.
the first thing you're doing is taking the butter mix. It's just plain butter, mixing that together right now, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that butter's nice and creamy. I don't know if you can see it.
All right, let me see if I can get in the shot. So we're on camera 2 right now. It's showing basically the end shot of this, so you can see the butter for a little bit. We're going to move that
cool,
right
cool,
here. And that way we're good to go. So you can kind of see it mixing right now. Hopefully it's not messing up the audio levels too much, but it looks delicious, almost enough to eat with bread. We'll see how that.
Nice and creamy is the key.
Nice and creamy.
And then the recipe also calls for 3 cups of white sugar.
Okay.
And what I generally do is, when I do my sugar, I sift everything. Everything is sifted. When you're sifting everything, it assures you that the product is nice, fluffy, light, and moist.
So the idea of sifting, because I've always been curious about that, when someone is actually sifting, it's not about mixing the ingredients together. It's more about making sure that the ingredients stay more of a, I guess, is a bouncier cake? What's the word that I would be using for something like that? It makes sure the cake does what?
I sift everything because it makes the cake more lighter.
Okay, it makes the cake more lighter.
It makes the cake more lighter. And then also, with using white sugars, you'll find that there are sometimes a lot of big grains or some lumps. So depending on what kind of mixer you use, making sure that you sift everything, you're assuring that everything is mixed well.
Perfect. All right, that makes sense. So the sugar goes in and it looks good. And as you can see, well, as you guys can't see, but I can see, there's actually small little lumps is what he's talking about. So the benefit of what he's saying about sifting it, it makes sure that everything comes out as fine as it's supposed to be. So that works.
See? Those big lumps.
Show that on camera 3. Yeah. All right. Okay. We see what you're saying. Then that makes sense.
So that goes away.
Completely
You don't
out.
want that in your cake, of course. So
that's why my cakes come out lumpy. That makes a lot more sense. Now, if any of this is in your way, let me know. What I do love is that he has this recipe setting up on this easel right here. I'm trying to see what camera you can actually see it on, but no, you can't see it on any because I guess it's supposed to be hidden a little bit. Maybe it's a secret for him and not for everybody else. But it's always good to be able, you can actually see your recipe over and over again. I know when I'm making my stuff, say on a mobile device, I have to remind myself to set the mobile device to always stay on.
Right.
Because it'll just go to sleep on me while I'm in the middle of a recipe. And one thing, if you're going back and forth with your mobile device and like trying to make your recipe, ooh, see, there it is again.
Another clunk of sugar.
See, that works. Well,
Yep.
all right.
So if you sift everything, you're assuring that, and that was a big one.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was.
So you're assuring that you're making sure that everything is, nice and refined so that you get a good light product.
So also remember that my wife may be coming in from time to time. You may see her go in front of the camera, behind the camera real quick, because we could be trying to fix a shot or doing something. So I think she said she needs to do something now. So if you see her go by, you'll see something happen. So whatever you need to do you need to do something? And you can actually talk.
I would move that confection of sugar box.
Okay, because it's in the way? Okay. All right, see? Simple things, yeah.
Thanks, Cole.
Next time, just come in and just move it. See, that's how cool it is. You can do that. That's the beauty of live. So it's just...
The beauty of married lives.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
the things you have to do, and when you're looking at trying to make a cake and you're trying to make it in front of a show or something, and you're not seeing it live, the thing that you kind of miss out on is where locations and things need to be. So what she's saying is that this is actually preventing people from seeing what we're actually doing. So hopefully, having all this stuff the way it is now, everybody can kind of see what he's actually doing. If I need to move the camera down or do some things, I will do that. And we have to bring our stuff up a little bit for y'all to see. We'll try to do that as well. Again, the camera that was supposed to be coming down to show all this decided not to work tonight, so we'll keep going. All right, so far it's been sugar and just sugar.
sugar.
And then more sugar.
Right.
And then that's going to go directly into the butter.
Exactly.
So sugar butter. That sounds very delicious. It sounds really, really good. So keep going with that.
So here we have the 3 cups of granulated white sugar.
Granulated white sugar. Let me see if I can get that on camera 3. I'm going to try and move camera 3 a little bit so that way we can actually get that in the shot. So I'm going to come around here and see how we do. All right. So I did that live. Y'all got to see me actually move it live, so y'all see that. But now we're doing that. We're going to move a couple of things out of the way so you guys can see it as clear as possible. So we're going to move this easel. We're going to easel now. And then we got the sugar. Are you done with the sugar
I'm
now?
done with the sugar.
All right, so that way we can put that behind us. Amen. When
Joe,
done
you
with something,
able
put it
to
behind us.
chime in on the mix here?
What do you want me to say?
Well, no, I just want you to look at how smooth this is.
All right, so as you can see on camera 3, you might not be able to see.
Great.
So we got that zoom in right there to show you actually mixing the product. So now you can go ahead and pour it in. That's perfect.
You want to gradually put this in, and
So why are we gradually as opposed to just stuff it in and do
you're
it?
gradually putting it in because again, you want to make sure that you're guaranteed to have a very light, fluffy product.
Okay. Keep going. Sounds good. And just in case, I know my wife may be online with Facebook, so if there are any questions or anything that you guys see posted or something, she might be able to see it. Can't guarantee it. We're going to see what we're going to be able to do for you guys. All right, so you put in the sugar, you've got the butter going with it, and this is just to now just give it a light little mix and everything.
Correct.
How's the audio on the mixer? Does it sound good? We're good with our microphones and stuff as we're doing it? Perfect. All right.
And then you want to stop the mixer.
Oh, my mic cuts out when I move. Good to know.
And give it a nice stir here.
Okay. Show that on camera 3 right there.
You get down at the bottom there.
A little bit.
Want to make sure that this is nice. Oops.
What
I can
happened?
throw this away.
Y'all didn't see that. See that? Rachel Ray don't show you that. We show you that here. Right here live. That's what we do. Y'all see that oops and y'all don't think nothing about it, but he's trying to make sure everything stays fresh and clean for all of y'all. Wish we can get this cake away. That'd be kind of nice. But no, it's going all in my stomach tonight, so sorry about that, people. All right, so we're mixing it back up again. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is what, Vince?
We're getting ready to put our flour in.
All right, so flour you'll be using what
Flour.
kind?
For this recipe, it's
All right, so
specifically.
camera right there.
Hi. For this recipe, it specifically asks for cake flour. I'm not really a fan of swan down flour, cake flour. I'm really a soft to silk guy. It just makes more sense to me. It's a lighter flour. My preference would be this one over this one, but I think you'll do okay. This you would only need to sift probably once, versus the down soft cake flour twice.
Interesting. So, for me, who is a cake lover, but not a lover of baking the cake, because when we actually started this process, it was going to be a contest between me and Vince, seeing who could make a better cake, and we both know I was going to lose that battle, but it would have been fun to watch. But what I wanted to make sure that we were doing in the process is actually learning about the cake as well. So why would someone use cake flour as opposed to just regular flour? I see that in a lot of recipes of cake flour as opposed to flour. What is the actual difference? Is it just more about a sifting, or is there something else in it besides the actual flour?
I think that different flours give you a different texture
Okay.
of the product that you're trying to produce.
Okay.
You know, I'm old school. I've been around for a while, as you already know. And when it comes down to a really good baked good, I want to make sure that I do everything possible to make sure that it's assured that when I bite into that cake or cupcake or wedding cake, that the texture and the flavor is on point. It is very, very critical that you make sure that your product is good.
Okay.
And I think the flour is one of the basics that basically builds the body of the cake.
Okay. Now, do we have enough flour right here? Did you run out, or what's going on?
I think we did, but I think we'll be okay.
Okay, because you're going to use the one you don't like.
Right. I'm going to mix it in. And listen, we're going to make this do what it's supposed
I like
to do.
use
Right,
this,
right,
but I got to
right.
use it for the night, so we're just going to make it work.
Right.
All right.
So good. So good. Just a little bit.
Make sure you get the biggest knife that you have to open up this plastic.
Thanks, Joe.
No, not a problem. This is awesome. See, he has his own business and his own thing, but I told him to come to my house as opposed to me. I guess the phrase for it is, Joe, don't be lazy. Just go to your house where you have everything already set and arranged and ready to go. I'm making him do extra work because he's using our stuff and our things. But at the same time, wouldn't it be cool if you had a professional chef that just came to your house, or a professional baker that came to your house and they said, these are the products that are in your home. You're going to go ahead and try to use these. And see, the cool things about behind the cameras you guys never see is right now my wife is actually going through our cabinets to see if we had some more of the soft silk. But we already mixed it in, so it doesn't matter at this point. We moved past
Cole,
it. But bless her heart for looking. Like, I
really think that we're going to be okay. We are going to be just fine.
All right, so now we're back to the sifting. Let me see if I can get that on the camera. Yeah, I think that might actually work. So you got a little bit of that going into there. Camera's a little bit off there, but we'll be happy with that. That's fine.
Make sure you get a nice.
Okay, that's the thing that I always remember that I want to ask. Keep going while I'm doing this. So while you're doing this, what I've always seen, and I'm going to go over to the camera and bring it around. There have been conversations that I've seen online, and not really a debate, so to speak. But the thing is, what I've noticed is that when it comes to flour, you don't pack down. But when it comes to brown sugar, you do pack down when you're actually making something. Now, who sets the rules? I don't know if this is like an Alton Brown conversation as opposed to talking to my brother, but I've always wanted to know, why is it that we aren't patting down the flour? We're letting that stay out as opposed to the brown sugar. We got to keep packing down tight and then make sure, isn't it the same amount going in the same container, so to speak?
So to speak, yes. I've watched a lot of clips on American's Test Kitchen, and they do a whole lot of baking and cooking as well, as you already know.
Yes.
They test this stuff. So usually, if you really want to know what to do as it relates to a particular cake or recipe, they're the guys to basically go to for the knowledge.
Yeah.
They have good knowledge. If you just Google them and pull up some of their clips.
Okay.
They can basically teach you the ins and outs and the different tests versus using cake flour versus using regular flour and what the product does. So if you're unsure about how it works, and I trust them.
Okay.
I trust them, and I've tried some of the stuff that they basically
Yeah.
have tested, and it works.
Perfect. So while you're doing this, let's keep the conversation going this way. Do you remember the first cake you've ever baked?
I do. I do. It's really funny because I started baking, I think, when I was like 12 years old. Having one sister and 7 brothers, and having, a big family, my mom would, allow me to get in the kitchen and kind of like experiment sometimes. And so I made, I think it was a Betty Crocker box cake.
Okay.
It might have been lemon or vanilla. But the cake was so good and it was so moist. I guess because I put so much love in the cake that everybody just loved it. And some of the kids, during the summer when we were out of school, they would ask their parents, could Vincent come over and basically bake, a cake or something?
How old
and they'd
were
be
you
like,
at this point?
I was about 12, 13, 14 years old. I was, and of course my mom and dad was like, okay, well, you know what to do, just make sure you're careful. And I mean, I've been doing the sweet thing for a while.
Wow. That is amazing. And so to this very day, you still love it? It's an art form to you? You like it?
It is. It's one of my passions. It's kind of like my go-to, when I, have a lot going on at work or a busy life. I can come in and crack some eggs and lay out some butter and some milk and make a good product and be like, oh my God, this is so good, and share it with other people. So that was one of the things I would do. I would bake and then I would share with other people. It was like, oh my God, this is so good.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, do you want another piece? And it was like, yeah. So, and then some years later, need a little bit more. Then some years later, one of my colleagues, hey, Carrie, her mom got this recipe, and her realtor.
Her realtor?
Yeah, her realtor was trying to get her and her fiance to refinance their home. And so they brought this little loaf by everybody's house. It was wrapped up. And she was like, well, let me just bring it to work. I'm really not that big on sweets. So she brought it to work, and she was like, left it at her desk. And I was like, can I have some? She was like, sure. So I tasted it, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And what it was it was called pumpkin bread. It was called pumpkin bread. And I was like, Carrie, I was like, what is this? And she was like, it was just, my realtor, had this, cake, and he was giving out to everybody. So, I didn't want it, so I brought it to work to share. And I was like, would you do me a favor? And she was like, sure. I was like, would you ask him if I could get the recipe? And so the next couple of days, she came in and gave me the recipe. And I went home and I tweaked the recipe and I made it, and I was so impressed. It asks for, actually, it's pumpkin bread, which is a light bread, but it has this delicious rum buttercream cheese icing that's to die for.
Okay.
Hers didn't have rum in it, but I added rum in mine, and it really made the recipe.
So how does your process think about, okay, you tried her cake, you go back home, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to make this cake, but not only that, I'm going to add rum to it. Like, what in the senses of your tongue, or because, I mean, technically, you didn't taste it. So you just decided in your head you wanted rum to go with this. What makes you think that route?
Well, I thought that the icing was good, but I was like, you know what? I'm always trying to make stuff better when I bake.
Absolutely.
So, they say if you get a recipe and you add your own, your own thing to it, then you can own it to be your recipe. So when I took the recipe and I put the butter rum cream cheese icing, it really made the dessert mine,
Absolutely.
And so I think the recipe that she had, it didn't ask for any rum. It just asked for just, regular confection sugar, butter, a little milk, and that was it.
Got it.
So I added the rum, and that rum just really made a huge difference in the recipe altogether.
Now, when you made that, did you bring that to the office for everybody to try? Or was that just like you kept that a secret? Like how did
I didn't keep it a secret, but what I did was
let me get that on camera. Go ahead.
I
Keep talking.
I didn't keep it a secret because at the time I was making it and people were asking me, well, could you make some of that bread again? And I was like, sure. So I got good at it. And, I know you're going to ask me, so how did this, make the business? And the part of that would be is I basically was trying to figure some things out about which direction I wanted to go into. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said...
Are you done with this?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
And me being a member of First Baptist Church of Glenarden, my pastor had preached a sermon about many of you, are praying to God, for blessings in your household. And he said, your blessing is right in your kitchen cabinets. Your blessing is in the cupboards in your house. You just need to, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to do it, and God will bless it. And so my job that very same year had a bazaar, and of course I participated in the bazaar, and I think I'm gonna need some more flour. I participated in the bazaar, and I made all of these desserts. I made honey buns, pumpkin bread, and I was able to make so much money during the Thanksgiving holiday. I was able to buy my own iPad for the business, which was really cool.
What?
Very first time.
That is awesome. That kind of sets everything up. Wow.
It does. It really does.
That is a beautiful story. I kind of did the same thing with what I wanted to do with this. There have been so many people that have been asking me to like videotape, record, do this and do that. And I'm like, I don't have that equipment. I don't do that.
Right.
And then the people have been like, well, I'll pay for the equipment if you can still do it, and that'll be the payment. I was like, well, if you want to pay for my camera, go for it.
Right.
Camera 1 comes in. Same thing for camera 2, camera 3. Then I realized this business is kind of what it is. You sit there and you realize there's a little bit of a calling in you to kind of do something else on the side from what you regularly do. But this is amazing, Vincent. So
thanks, man.
You get the iPad, and that kind of lets you know, okay, you're ready to start your own thing, and you're ready to do it. So that's what happened?
Basically, I got the iPad, of course, after the fact that I had gotten so many orders from just my coworkers. The families ordered stuff, and I had made so much money during that time. I was able to, to buy my own, an iPad. And so I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. All right, so right now we're mixing, and if you see a hand in the screen, that's just my wife moving stuff around. We'll see how it goes. So you're going to add heavy whipping cream to this recipe.
I am going to add heavy.
But I see a little something there. What you got going on there, bro?
Well, I mixed the heavy whipping cream with...
All right, let me see if I can get that. So that's got to be right in front of... A little bit down, a little bit down. There it is. Turn a little bit to the right. Yeah, there you go.
Simply Pure.
All right, what is that?
Caramel.
Perfect. All right, now we're back to all right.
And it's the good stuff. I think that it adds flavors to the cake. And so I'll use almost about half a cup, a little more over than a half a cup.
So you do that and the heavy whipping cream together? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm too lazy to go move the camera for y'all to see it, but let me just tell you, the two things in there just looks like this creamy mixture, which is beautiful. Which means if it looks that creamy like that, it's going to look that creamy when it actually goes into the thing. Yeah.
So this adds more flavor to the cake. A little secret that I'm sharing. I normally wouldn't tell y'all, but I'm going to share it tonight.
And we all appreciate that. There we go. All right. All right, so I remember the butter. I
Right.
remember the sugar. I remember the flour. And now this is your own take on the recipe. So that means you decided to use the Simply Pure along with the heavy cream. But I guess you've had to mix and match to figure out how to get the right consistency of what you're looking for something like this?
I think that would be fair to say. I think it's very important that you basically know your flavors, and this is the other part of the cake. This is a very simple recipe, but more importantly, what makes this cake so good is the flavoring that goes in it.
Got it.
We got the good Loc'd butter. We got the a good high grade of flour, and we got the liquid, which is the heavy whipping cream, which is Loc'd, of course. And of course, I really like to add a little bit of this in because it makes the
That is so
you know,
clever.
So yeah, so
I would have never thought of that. Oh my gosh. So now he's getting ready to add a little bit more to the party. So everybody's slowly gotten invited to the party, and now you're like, you know what, let's kick this up a notch. So right now I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs.
6 eggs.
But you're making a pound cake, not an egg cake.
Correct.
But the eggs in this is going to actually set it off in a whole new. I'm so used to seeing maybe 1, 2 eggs, but that's 6 eggs, bro. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what's about to happen.
When you got 6 eggs, what you do?
I'm actually excited about this. Let us know if there's any questions on there in the feed, Cole, because I'm kind of amazed what I'm seeing. Like I said, you'll see me go on and off, fix the cameras or whatever like that, because he's being so creative. I'm trying to just catch up on what he's trying to do. So right now I'm going to move a camera we haven't really been using that well so we can get some other shots in there. But keep going. So now are you officially in a business, so to speak? Like, how did the business part start to get you where you want to go?
The business part started when I started getting a whole lot of orders. People were ordering stuff for Thanksgiving. People were ordering stuff for Christmas. And then I met this lady. Hey, Brenda. She challenged me to make her wedding cake. And I looked at her and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing no wedding cake. And she was like, you got to do the wedding cake. You know, she was like, I had this dream, God told me to tell you, that he wanted you to make this, to make my wedding cake. And I was looking at it like crazy. I was like, wedding cakes? I don't know nothing about no wedding cakes.
Okay.
And so with that being said, I did the research on the wedding cake, and surprisingly, I made her wedding cake.
All right, so what kind of cake was this?
During that time, I created a lovely lemon lime.
The lovely lemon lime
The lovely
cupcakes.
lemon lime.
I
You remember that?
You brought those over when I had my surgery.
Yep.
Yes. I got some extra healing because of those cupcakes right there.
You want to add your eggs in one at a time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, those were a really, really big hit. So, what about you seem to have your flavors down packed on what you want when it comes to the cake, when it comes to the icing. But what about when it comes to the last part, when you're actually doing, let's say, like you said, a wedding cake? How do you go about doing an actual design?
Well, I think that it's just as important to connect with the recipe as it is important for you to connect with the bride and the groom.
Okay.
And what I usually do is basically prepare a cake tasting with the bride and the groom. I give them the option of selecting either 3 to 4 different type cakes, and with those 3 to 4 different type cakes, I make mini cupcakes for each requested flavor.
Okay.
And after that, they come over and I decorate the cakes. And I have not had one client that have allowed me to prepare their wedding cake that wasn't pleased. Everybody was always happy about the flavor, the texture of the cake, how it smelled, the presentation. And I must say, all of this is hand taught. I've only gone to one wedding cake one wedding cake training, and the rest has been self-taught.
Okay. Gosh, that is looking good. Wow.
We're gonna do
Sorry,
another.
like I'm staring at this on my monitor and enjoying what I'm seeing. You got this shot like this, but then this shot is so wide, but that close up of this right here, oh my gosh, you can totally just melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Oh my gosh, this looks incredible. And you're not even, so that was the 6 eggs,
That was the 6 eggs.
and then that consistency level just went off the chain. Wow. That is beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. And still, we're not even done yet. So, temperature-wise, I want to make sure, what should the stove be set at?
For this particular cake, this recipe calls to be set at 325.
325. Okay, I want to make sure we're at the right number on there. So it's actually showing us 325, so we're good to go. All right, so this is, I'm going to put this in here a little bit so people can actually see what he's about to start doing. All right, bring it back, bring it back. There we go. All right, move these sunglasses out the way. All right, there you go. Keep going, bro.
Great. I brought some extra flavoring because you could either do a 5 flavoring for this particular cake, or you can just make it your own, which I'm going to make it my own. I'm going to make a coconut and lemon Hennessy butter pound cake.
Oh! In other words, Joe just heard the word heaven. Yes, he did.
So you're going to put in 2 teaspoons of the best flavoring.
Wow.
It's not cheap. This is the real good stuff.
I want to see what that is, if you don't mind. So
Sure.
I can add it to my silver cloud. I like it. Have you heard I forgot this person's name, so I don't want to talk about it until I get the actual name right. But man, the smells coming from there. Oh my God, it's incredible. That is amazing. All right, so wait, hold on, because like you didn't even say what this one was.
Oh,
So
that's
this-
lemon.
So the first one was vanilla. The second one is lemon. Oh wait, the first one was coconut. I'm sorry. The first one was coconut, y'all. The second one was lemon, and the third one is.
The third one, I'm not sharing.
We'll see if we can get a close up of that. He's got the name of it over his hand, so I don't know what that was.
I am not sharing, but I'm going to tell you this. This really
All right.
enhances the
I'll
flavor.
leave it on a wide shot, but just so y'all know, the wife over there is trying to get a hint of what it is. So hold on, if you don't want nobody to see it, want to make sure we put it back over there.
Okay,
so
put it
nobody
back over
sees
there.
it.
Great. I love it.
I'll hide it over here in the corner, something like that. Oh,
Sounds good.
woo! The thing has a warning label on it, y'all. What that is, but it has a warning label. Oh, I can't wait to try this. Well, you know something, when a flavor has a warning label, yeah, you didn't really woke up something right there. Oh my gosh. All right, so now we get to, you had the lemon flavoring, but now you're gonna go for the real lemon one right here.
Right. A little lemon zest always hypens up the
Okay.
flavor in a cake.
Okay.
You don't need much of it. So I'm going to add a little lemon zest in here. Just a tad.
Oh, that's nice. So because my audio and stuff messed up, I actually had some jazz and light music to be playing while you're doing this, because I think they would have just set off the sound. Because like how you like to create your cakes and how you like to do that, I like to set the mood for what we're doing here.
Of course.
But when your computer decides to go on vacation, because it is summertime, you have no other choice but just to kind of just make do with what you got. So if I need to hum or do something in the process, when you hear that little downtime of no talking, then that's what we can do. Oh my gosh, that looks incredible. So you can see it on that shot. See how it looks on one. Oh, there we go. Yes. So that's a lovely little mix you got in there. The color looks amazing. The smell, I can actually smell a little bit of it even with my nose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it actually smells really, really good. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. So
And
I'm really excited.
what I also generally do is You can also put, I usually put a little top full of vanilla in the cake as well, which is an added flavor. I know we're doing the main flavor, which is lemon and coconut. And of course the Hennessy later on in the cake is definitely going to add a whole lot of flavor. So I'm also going to add just a hint of almond extract.
Brand new to the scene. Yes, look at that. So, you said something earlier that kind of like was like a buzzword for me, but you said something about, did you say 5 flavors or 6 flavors? Is there only a certain amount of flavors you can add to a
Well,
cake?
here's the thing. You can add a main cake. I mean, you can add a main flavor, the main flavoring, which is what I put more in, which was the lemon and the coconut.
Got it.
The almond and, of course, the vanilla, it'll only take it up a notch or two.
Okay.
When it comes down to flavoring. So
Okay.
you'll taste it, but it'll blend together really well to make a really good flavor.
Okay. So you can't have all those like herbs and spices that KFC does. You only need a little bit as your main, and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Okay, I can live with that. All right, so now we've had our several mixtures that have been put in, plus the secret mixture we can't talk about that had a warning label on it.
Sorry.
I just love that it had a warning label on it. I've never seen a flavor have a warning label on it. And like some of y'all, if y'all in the baking world, y'all know exactly what this is. And I know y'all are on the ground rolling right now. But for everyone else, is like, what kind of flavor has a warning label? And I know my wife is over there trying to sneak peek on what it is. But that's just amazing. I cannot wait to try something that had a warning label on it. All right, Vince. So what are we doing next, bro? What's happening next?
I think we're done with the mixing, and as you can tell, we got a nice, creamy, rich, buttery, flavored pound cake.
Yes. Man, the thing about being live is that I'll be able to try it, but y'all at home will have no idea what you're missing.
But you can order it.
You know what? That's
can
a good
order
plug
it.
right there. Yes, you can. So the name of the company one more time for us.
It's Blessed and Highly Flavored Bakery.
All right, cool. And then how do we contact you? What's the process of doing that?
The process of, because it's a one-man show at this time, sorry, I want to make sure that when people order a cake from me, that it's a good flavored cake.
Yes.
And the product looks good, tastes good, and you come back. So
Absolutely.
at this time, I don't have any employees, but hopefully in the near future, I will have some.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, you can order it through either on Facebook.
Okay.
There is a business page on my Facebook page.
Business page on your Facebook page.
And also you can just either call me, either one of the two.
So the surprise I wanted to have for my brother today, but again, I'm going to keep talking about it till it's like set in stone. I had problems with the equipment, and I was actually going to pull up all his photos of the cakes that he has done in the past, the events that he has done. Then on top of that, show the actual card so people can actually see the information and contact, so that way they can have it. But I do apologize for that. But like I said, this is not your only time
okay.
you're going to be on here.
Oh,
so
great.
once all the other equipment starts kicking in and working, then we'll be able to do that. All right, so now that we know that, we know the company, we know who you are, we've gotten the cake down to is it almost baking time?
It is baking time.
So the Hennessy doesn't go in at this point?
No, the Hennessy does not. I noticed that you keep on asking me about the Hennessy, Joe.
Yes.
I mean, if you want a sip or a shot, you're more than welcome to have some. I'm not going to use all of it, so.
He said it, folks. So the rule is, let me contact my doctor to make sure it's safe with the medicine that I take. But let me go ahead and just just see if there's a little bit of a shot over here that I can kind of just use and measure out or whatever. I'm gonna get the cups that make the wife upset, because there's certain cups that you can get, and she'll be like, "Why are you using that cup?" Those are my favorite cups to use. Let me find one of those. Yes, I'll be nice today. I'll be real nice. I'll use one of these. She'll be all right. All right.
And what you're going to do is just spray your bundt pans. Just lightly coat them.
You want to get none on this. Make sure you
Right,
get none
exactly.
on this. That's the important thing. Hennessy. Just one little sip. Just a little sip.
Just a little sip.
I don't know what you're allowed to do on Facebook or not, so let me take my shot off.
Well, you know, it would have been cool if you had gotten 2 glasses. Then we could have toasted a little bit, Joe. But
you know what? That is a
right,
good point.
exactly.
I didn't want to interrupt you in
no,
your
it's all
baking
good.
process.
No. There's no.
You know, there's certain people that just like, you know, you can't just bake that way. You got to have, you know,
exactly.
be concentrated. I don't want you like to mess up the concentration.
No, the concentration.
It was me looking out for you. That's what it was.
Good. We're good.
Okay, I'm just making sure. All right, pour this right. Here we go. Because you said you don't need to use all of it, right?
No.
Want to make sure you can use it all. All right, so I have a
what
little
you're
bit left.
basically gonna do is probably put a spoon and a half.
So because of time and we wanted to make sure we were doing this right, what we wanted to do was put it in a smaller thing. They have them cook a little bit faster. But I'll be honest, at the rate that we're going, as much time as we're taking to do all this is a much bigger process than what I thought it was going to be. So we might end up just talking for a little bit while it bakes and end the show, and then we'll do another one where we can actually show you what it looks like or put pictures on. Or if you like what you see, order it. I mean, it's just that simple. And if you actually live in the area and you're close, I mean, I could have neighbors across the street that may say, you know what, we're watching this, we want to actually come and taste it. Then, yeah, you know, that's how you do that. That's how you get people to come over.
I totally agree.
Let me see if I can get a shot of that, you pouring it in like that. That might work a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Which camera is that? It's camera 1. I'm not going to move that one. That looks nice. Almost done. There we go. That's beautiful. So you just did the oil of the pan, so you don't put any flour, so to speak, or?
I did with these. I don't think that you necessarily need flour.
Okay.
There's plenty of butter that is in this recipe.
I think that was a little bit jealous. He wanted to add a little bit more.
Think so? Just a little
maybe
bit.
a little bit upset.
Just a little bit.
Cool. Oh my gosh.
I want these to be nice and full, so they'll probably over bake on the top, which is fine, because after we put that Hennessy and the lemon icing on the top of them, there's a lemon glaze. You want to make sure you get a good piece of pound cake, you know. So I didn't want to leave you short. So we're gonna pop these in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes.
There's the oven right there. Wide shot, but we ain't gonna get all that. It's all good. Ooh, look at that. That looks good. Go ahead, bro. One day I'll have 12 cameras and it won't matter. We'll see. All right, so now he's set in the oven, but don't want to look at his behind, so I'll go back to camera 2. So we're gonna do a timer for how long?
Between 20, I'm gonna do these between 20 and 25 minutes just to make sure.
Do a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
See if it actually works on series.
Okay, 25 minutes and counting.
All right, so now we're good. I don't have to worry about thinking about it. So we know when 25 minutes is up, we'll be good to go. So everything else that I'm seeing here is, ooh, there's so much batter left. Oh my gosh, that is, yes. If y'all don't know what cloud I'm on, it's not 1, it's not 2. Because the smell that I'm smelling is incredible. It's not even baking all the way yet. Not 3, y'all, not 4. There's so many other clouds. You go to 5, you can make it to cloud 6. But it's not until you get close to it when you get to 7, but not 8. It's that 9th cloud, y'all, and that's where I'm at right now. And when you're on that 9th cloud, you got that nice stuff smelling. There's only one thing you need to do. You take a glass of something nice to drink. Oh, this one's yours right here, bro. And you toast your brother for making something really special. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate that, but you ain't put no ice in here. No ice, you know, you don't. If
There is a camera
tell you
pocket in the
something.
fridge.
You know, it's just, you don't
There's
play.
not gonna be any ice tonight. If I get the ice, we lose the whole show. What? I'm gonna open up the fridge. The whole stream's gonna go down. Yo, trust me, we are just starting out on this. But let's just.
Joe, I appreciate you inviting me on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having. Oh my God. Smooth.
That's good. Are you okay?
That's good. Yeah.
See, if you don't know what you're doing, stay out of the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, this is so good. Yeah. Yum. And on that note, like I said, we're gonna have a long time for the whole entire show, but I think first we'll do a couple more minutes of
Great.
you talking a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and end it. What I wanted to know from you, I noticed that this is a meditation process of how you cook. This isn't just simply Vincent just cooking. This is Vincent in an element. When I talked to you when you first started this business, you actually gave away your TV because it was hindering you from being creative to be able to build what you want to build. Can you talk about that for a little bit? I'm gonna fix the camera while you're doing that, but just go ahead and
Sure, I'm
start talking
surprised you
about that.
remember that.
I remember that.
You know, of course, I know a lot of you have Comcast and DirecTV and Fios, and I was in my condo probably about 6 years ago or so, and I was just working and coming home, and I was like, why am I paying for this service? And then there was nothing on the TV, of course, that I really liked. So I was like, you know what? I called him, I told him, I said, you know what, cut it off. I don't want it. So the TV just kind of sat there. TV just kind of sat there, and lo and behold, a good friend of mine, hey Stanley, called me, and he was like, Vince, he was like, do you know anybody who has a TV? And I was like, yeah, actually I do. And he was like, well, who? I was like, I do. He was like, are you sure you don't want it? And I was like, man, I haven't turned it on in a couple of months. So he came over, picked the TV up. Somebody broke into his, place. So I gave him the TV. He was happy. And I was happy that, if any case, it created other space for me and not having to come home to try to look at something when I could basically come home and it's peaceful, it's quiet, and then I could save the money too as well. So that was a big thing for me too as well. So in turn, I was able to focus on other things. I was able to focus on wedding cakes and designs, and I was able to focus on orders, and I was able to focus on customer relations, and the importance of catering to people. Because honestly, as much as I love sweets, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be able to go in the kitchen and create such great, beautiful designs that people are paying top dollars for, and not as high as top, for those who have come to me and they needed a wedding cake, and the person basically needed a wedding cake design that was like $5,000, and I was able to make that cake for them probably for less than $2,000 or what have you. So, when you're starting off, you kind of, you want the business. And so, people trust you to do their wedding cake, then you do it. And I've never had anyone to ask for a refund. I've never had anybody to say that they didn't enjoy the cake. And it's always been customers that have come back over the years for Christmas, birthday, anniversaries, and so forth. So, and I really owe this a lot to my mom, because my mom, she loves sweets. We love sweets.
Absolutely.
And oftentimes, me and her, our thing was good fried chicken and good cake, but it's gotta be a good cake. If it's not a good cake, we good. So when I was a child growing up, that was our little thing. Good fried chicken, warm fried chicken up, and you got good cake left over from the night before. We were happy. Matter of fact, we had that for breakfast quite a few times. So
I believe it.
And she loved sweets, and she was like, Vincent, she said, you know what? I am so tired of going to the grocery store and ordering people's cake, and it don't taste like nothing. Or for those of you who basically, order birthday cakes with the fondant, and it's got the cat, and it's got the bag, and it's got the house and the car sitting on the cake, and then when you cut the cake, it's like, this tastes like crap. So I've got a lot of customers that come to me, and it was like, I wish that you could have made my cake, because if you had made my cake, then at least we would have been able to eat the car. We'd have been able to eat, whatever design it was.
Yes.
And I was like, that's so important. Taste really matters.
Absolutely.
And so here at the bakery, Blessed and Highly Flavored Bakery, we're high on the taste. We're high on the flavor. It is so important. So that's how the business got created.
That's amazing. I look at, I remember for my wife's certain age birthday when she turned 21. We'll just say the age 21. Won't say the real age. But in the process of getting that together, I said to myself, I wanted something so specific that I can't trust anybody to do it. And I said, there's only one person on this whole entire planet that can actually make a design, make a taste, and make a flavor that I'm looking for. And it wasn't about the cake and what it looked like. It was about capturing a flavor and an essence of who my wife is. And to me, that set the bar extremely high for somebody to create. But it also set the platform about a cake becoming a memory for you. And so when I got to sit down, I said, there's only one person in the world that I can call, and it was you.
Surprisingly. That really surprised me.
You know what? You're right.
It
You
really
did say
surprised
that.
me.
It did surprise me.
Because I just didn't think that I was the qualified candidate to do that. I really.
But I'll be honest, that cake actually brought us together, to be honest with you.
It brought us together?
Yeah,
It brought us together?
Even closer together than what we are, because I sat down and I gave you a list of the flavors that I was looking for.
Do you remember what they were?
So first we had coconut.
We did have coconut.
We had pineapple.
We did.
We had rum.
We did have rum.
Wasn't there a spice?
There was mango.
Mango.
There was mango.
And then what was the last one?
Ginger.
Ginger.
There was ginger. Yes.
We had, and I wanted him to create something with all 5 of those flavors. And you can hear the sound, because this was a phone call, and you can hear the sound of the other sound on the other side. It's just like, are you effing kidding me? There is no way. What are you want me to combine? What? How am I? What are you? And like, and he said, Joe, I got to be honest with you. Creating something like that, he said, 1, if I got to be honest, it's going to be pricey. That's one of the last things you said. But he said, 2, to create something like that where the flavors actually meld together, it would be a task. And you performed it. So we go to the birthday. I introduced the cake. Like, you know how you introduced the birthday girl, the birthday woman, however you want to say it. You introduced that, but there was a second introduction. The introduction was this cake.
Correct.
And so now we're getting slices of this cake, and you finally see the embodiment of what a cake is supposed to be. Because I've always seen you go to a birthday party, a wedding, an event, and it'll be vanilla, chocolate, whatever, what have you. And then the outside of the cake would be like something that reminds you of the birthday, the marriage, or whatever. But no one ever talks about the flavor becoming a memory. And what Vincent does to a cake, he makes the taste a memory. Because now from that point on in my life, when I sit there and those flavors end up combining in other things, or I'll smell something here, smell something that, we're like, we missed that cake from Vincent.
Wow.
And that sets the bar of something that just is just incredible. So like I said, when I knew that I wanted to design something like this where I'm doing a Facebook Live event, whether I do YouTube or all the other ones or whatever, I said to myself, one of the first people I want to have on here is you, because you created a memory that's going to last a lifetime for me. And I'm like, I want people to see how you smile when you bake. Because there are certain people that are baking, like, I got to make this cake for these kids, and they got to be up by 7 in the morning and telling me last night to make these cupcakes at 3 in the morning. And so there's like an anger and there's a frustration. But I remember there was this church service I went to growing up, and the way this woman would describe it, I was like, what is she talking about? Because she would say, you can bake a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for someone you love.
Right.
But when you bake a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with love for someone that you love, there's an extra flavor in that.
Absolutely.
And for me, when you came up with your name and your title for your company, it combines all of that, of having that blessed, that flavor, that love, all into one. Mm-hmm. And I'm just honored that you were here tonight just to say, you know what, brother, I'm going to come here and just bake a cake for you live on screen for everybody to see. It's amazing. You made that cake, and it was just absolutely special, and I thank you for that.
Thanks, man. You're very, very welcome. I think I must add, too, as well, that during the time you came to me, you was like, I don't know if my wife is going to make it another year or not.
Yes.
Her family's coming down. She's doing good. And it's so important to me that she has the perfect birthday party. And I heard your cry, and I understood what you meant when you said perfect. So when you gave me the ingredients, I took in consideration, I connected with how you were feeling. And that's when I began to pour into this recipe that I was able to create. I was able to create a gingerbread cake that had fresh ginger in the body of the cake.
Yes.
I made fresh pineapples that were cut up, mango, fresh mango. The coconut was not a coconut texture. The coconut was a coconut flavoring.
Yes, because I told you that Cole does not like the coconut texture, but she loves the
Right.
flavor.
I took in consideration all of that. So when I did the cake, you know, I wanted to make sure those fruits kind of fermented. And so what I did when I made the buttercream icing, I made a rum
Yes.
coconut buttercream icing.
Yes.
So it's a ginger cake with fresh crystals of ginger and also crystal ginger also in that recipe as well. So then I took that fresh fruit, laid it on top of the ginger, and then I poured the rum buttercream and coconut buttercream icing on top. And then I put the layer and stacked it. And so that cake gets set. And so you got the fruit, you got the flavoring of the coconut and the buttercream icing, and it just made this phenomenal cake.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this is just super cool. I was like, super cool. I was like, you mean to tell me this dude, my brother, comes to me for, you know, to ask me to make this crazy cake. I mean, I was cussing him out the whole time. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't even know how this is going to taste. So my argument oftentimes is when people order stuff, I want to know for a fact how it tastes before I actually sell it to anyone. So with that being said, after I was able to taste everything, I was like, oh my God, Joe, you're not going to believe this. Oh my God, this tastes so good. I mean, I was so excited. And then, of course, the adventure that it was to get it to the place, you know, for the party, you
Absolutely.
know, before she got there, the whole nine. So I was like on pins and needles, but I have never seen a cake that was cut and demolished in a matter of seconds. And what was really, really crazy was one of Joe's guests, which was probably one of his neighbors, he was a white guy, he went back over to the cake and he was scraping up the crumbs. He was scraping up the crumbs, trying to get the crumbs off of the cake plate. And I was like, white people don't even do that. So he was saying that the cake was so good that he actually wanted more. So I made that cake and I designed the cake to be the Cole Caribbean cake.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
so
gave it that
I
name.
did. It was an awesome cake. I think I have a picture on my phone. Would you like to show them the cake picture?
Absolutely.
Can you get my phone? It's right on the table.
Get the phone
I
on
don't
the
want to walk
table.
in front of you.
No, it's fine. Oh, wow. You're sitting here talking about the cake, and now I'm just sitting here
Right,
daydreaming about it.
right.
I'm like, oh
Exactly.
my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh.
That was an awesome.
On my phone, because man, that cake was amazing. That's the
Thanks,
benefit
Joe.
of going live like this. You can sit there and hopefully find a picture, but now if I could do it, I'm going to try to zoom in on you, because before, like I said, I was going to have pictures come up for everybody to see, but the process is a little bit more difficult than I thought.
Actually, I don't know if you can show this, but here it is.
All right, so we're going to go on camera 2. I'm going to bring it as close as I can. There we go. All right. Does that work? Everybody see that? There we go. What, you going to do it sideways like this? There you go. That's what the cake looks like. Oh my gosh, and man. Whoo! Oh my gosh.
And even the
I forgot
design
about
of the cake.
pineapple at the bottom of it.
Even the design of the cake, everything was it just came together. I bought all this stuff and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this work. I want it to be special. So when you come to Blessed and Highly Flavored Bakery and you want a cake, I'm going to hear everything that you asked for. I'm going to hopefully connect with you or the bride and the groom or the birthday girl or the kids. And if you want something special, this is what we do here, meaning we create I don't believe in a perfect cake, but what I believe in a cake that tastes good every time, the flavor and the texture. Um, I think I'm more of a cake designer than, I create my own recipes. So the recipes that are, if you order anything, they're special creative recipes. All of my wedding cake, the lovely lemon lime, which is one of my big sellers for the wedding. Um, the best strawberry wedding cake, mixed fresh strawberries and whipped cream. All of those recipes are, all created by Blessed and Holly Flavored Bakery.
Yes, yes, it is. And every last one, I can truly tell you guys, like the hard part is that you can't taste it because you're just sitting here watching. But literally, we're describing what it was, and I started smelling the cake all over again. My stomach started growling a little bit. I don't know if you even heard that through the microphone, but yeah, it's a blessing to have a design that you have and that creativity in your head to be able to do something like this. It's the style of it, of how you create these things, are just incredible. You keep checking on that cake? You know we got it on timer.
We do have it on timer, but because we're using this particular type of pan,
You nervous?
normally, no, I'm not nervous. No, I'm not nervous because it's still gonna be good cake. I'm gonna get you.
All right, so when do we start on the frosting process, or
Oh, sure, that's a great idea.
what do you need? Sorry, we got so involved in that cake conversation, we forgot there's also frosting to make. So y'all might not see the end product, like I said, because we've gone over an hour. Usually my videos are 20 to 30 minutes, so I know some of y'all might have fallen off, but that's totally fine. What we just want to do is just have fun tonight, and that's the cool part of being able to do it. So again, you may see a hand or two come up here to help out the situation, and we'll go from there. But go ahead, Vincent. So what's the starting process?
The starting process it's very simple, and I usually make all of this icing by hand. For some odd reason, it's easier for me to make it by hand than a mixer.
All right.
Ba, 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 ba.
What do you need?
Big spoon, I got one.
All right.
And what I generally do is just use about, since it's just for the cupcakes here, about 3 or 4 full tablespoons of confection sugar. I'm gonna use one more. Huge, really huge.
It's a lot of confection.
It is a lot of confection.
Let me move this bowl out the way while you're doing that. So I can get
And I'll
some
use
stuff
like 1 top full of Hennessy. Yepper jeppers.
Oh my gosh.
And we're also going to use boop, 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 boop.
You keep going.
What did I do with my knife? Oh, here we go. A little fresh lemon juice.
Now you can talk if you need to, Cole, if we need to do something or move something, so just let us know. Because you really won't get picked up on the microphones that well.
Great.
Sure.
Cool. And what I generally do is when I'm making icing, I just kind of like just pour and stir as I go because there's a certain consistency that I want of the icing. A lot of times people put too much liquid in their icing, and then when they get ready to ice their cake, it's not thick enough. So for some odd reason, I've always just did it by hand. Just seems to make sense and it works.
Let me see if I can get a new shot of you mixing that with camera 3. There we go. Now, can you turn the bowl a little bit to the camera so they can see the consistency you're talking about? There we go.
A lot of times people put this in a mixer and they can't get a good icing. And this is how you get your good icing. You kind of beat it by hand. Then if you need more dry ingredients, you just kind of add a little bit more confection sugar, but
So you're looking for more of a thicker consistency than you would like just like falling like liquid.
it has to be thick enough so that it will fall on the cake. But then it also has to be thin enough so that it doesn't runs off of the cake. So you just kind of want to, take your time. And I don't think that a mixer, all these years that I've been baking, my mom used to ask me this. She would say, Vincent, she was like, I can never get my icing like you get your ice. And I was like, Mom, you just do it by hand. And I guess she never wanted to do it by hand.
Too impatient.
Right.
Too impatient for that.
So if you do this by hand, you're able to get a nice, you're not going to go wrong with the flavor. I need my coconut. Here we go.
So you added coconut to that as well?
I did.
Okay.
And what I generally do is after the cake or cupcakes are done, we're going to squeeze. Can you smell that?
Yeah, I guess. Smells really
Doesn't
good.
it smell real good?
It really does.
What I generally do is soon as the cake gets out of the oven, when the cake gets out of the oven, I usually pour about a half a lemon on top of the hot cake.
What?
Yep. And then I take about a half a cup of the Hennessy and I pour that on top of the cake.
Wait, the cake is about to come out soon. What do I need to put down for it to sit on? Because I just realized I didn't have anything sitting out. Look right here.
I think that they're almost done.
Is this fine? This works? Okay.
Do we have
We're both off camera here, but yeah. So we can sit it right here. Does that work? Would that interfere? Is that fine?
That's fine.
Okay.
I think we're
So want
good.
nobody getting burned in the process. So let's see if that shows up good on camera. Yeah, we'll make that work on the camera if we need to. I'll adjust. That looks amazing, and none of y'all can have it. Sorry. So right now he's checking on to see if it's ready, and that's my timer saying stop. So that has been officially 25 minutes. But again, this is not the original recipe he's going by in the sense of making sure that it was supposed to be this big giant cake, and it was supposed to be an hour and 25 minutes. But making these a little bit smaller to see if we can actually speed up the time process of what it would take, and hopefully it's going to turn out the way we want to. But if not, I know 2 people in this house that's going to be eating it, and that's me and myself. So. All right, so that's the timer. Hopefully y'all heard that, and then hopefully we're getting close to seeing what this cake is going to look like. But it's just going to be me by myself while he's testing it because I don't have a good camera shot. You see on channel 3 or camera 3, you can't see it. Camera 1, you can't see it either. You can see my watch though. But camera 2, you can see it pretty well. So over here, he's doing something. I'm going to see if I could actually do it on camera, but I don't like the idea of it doing it. So I'll get my wife to see if she can move camera 3 for us. So that way we can see what's going on. Yeah. So bring it over. Just all she got to do is just move it hard, fast. Just bring it over there. Just getting ready to bring it over.
You actually give me just a second here.
Right. Oh my gosh, there's silence right now because we want to make sure it turns out right. But there's also silence because he just flipped it and the smell that just came wafting in was on cloud. Oh my gosh, I'm back on cloud 9 again. So yeah,
They're really
hopefully.
hot. They are really, really hot.
What do you need? Something for your hand?
No, just a plate here.
Oh gosh, it smells so good. He's back for a minute to say hi to us, but don't try and do it. Is camera 3 ready, or is there something blocking the shot, or what's going on? Yeah. So the mixer's a little bit in the way, and he's working on it. We're gonna keep it over here and try to figure it out so I can see if I can move this mixer or not and get it out of the shot. Because I know he doesn't need it anymore.
Nope.
But he's back.
And these are really, really hot. And I think I might have cooked these just a little bit too long, but they're still good. Texture is always important. Always important. So what I generally do is just...
All right, take camera 3, babe, and... Ooh. Let's pour some of the goodness on there.
You said some of the goodness. And what happens is, of course, the Hennessy just kind of soaks up in the cake.
You can zoom in and zoom out. Top. Just put your hand right there, friend. Then go left and right. A little further up. Other way. There you go. Out more. It's okay. There you go. So, what you doing there, bro?
I'm just adding a little twist to the dessert. And
I
there
wasn't
you have it.
ready.
Yes.
Now, y'all know. So, keep in mind, he just did this right here, right now, in this time frame. I got it on, what is this, camera right here. There we go. Just one little lime on there, the icing, the cake is burning my hand. The plate is actually very, very hot, but that's not going to stop a brother from wanting to try it. You just move the camera, just bring the wide, we're going to go back on 2. So you see it right here. We're going to sit there and try to do that, have a little taste right here. And we all going to pray that Joe doesn't burn himself.
It is hot.
Now, when I say it's hot, y'all just saw it come out the oven. I'm literally wasting time right now so it can cool off. Because we both know I might run around screaming. That's how you do it. That is how you do it.
How did the texture come out?
Oh my God. You can taste all the flavors you described. You can taste the, oh my goodness. That little, oh. I'm supposed to be talking right now, but man, this is just, You know how do you say when they go for that second? Oh my gosh.
And of course, normally when I do this recipe, because we're doing this show and it's a very quick segment of what we do, the cake I would normally allow to rest for at least about a good 45 minutes to an hour. But immediately after it comes out of the oven, I would put a half a cup of Hennessy on top of the cake, and then I would let it rest, and then I would ice it with the little Hennessy, confection sugar, half and half cream on top of the cake, and mix that together to a great consistency so that it covers the cake and all of those flavors just go, and it's a very, very deep, rich pound cake. So you're singing hymns?
When you ain't got words you can use. Oh my gosh. Vincent.
It's good?
Vincent. Oh, bro. The funny part is, y'all can't see the look on my wife's face because she want to bite, and that's not happening today. It's not happening today. I know we're supposed to share according to the Bible and all that, but wow. Woo! Jesus.
But Joe, I'm glad that you like it. Thank you.
Y'all gotta understand. I don't like lemon. I don't like lime. That is amazing. Oh my God, man. Oh, and like you just did this live. Oh my God. I wasn't even, Bro, words can't describe what's
Thanks,
going
man.
on right now. This is just, oh my gosh. Y'all, just thank you so much
Oh, no, thank you.
for being a part of this. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for doing this. I know all the technical difficulties and hiccups we had, but we still pulled this off, bro. And I'm so just happy right now. The flavor, the taste. I almost just broke my microphone right now, but it's amazing. Y'all got to try this. If y'all haven't, y'all need to order a cake. Y'all need to order whatever he's got. Y'all need to get it because the flavor is just unbelievable. And y'all just, words cannot describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean, if you are single and you don't have a special person in your life, get that cake. If you have somebody in your life and y'all great,
Get the cake.
get the cake, but make sure y'all in separate places because they're going to try to share it. You are not going to want to share this. And if you've been happily married for like 50 years and you need to do an anniversary, get this cake. Yeah, you might end up having another kid after that.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, thank you so much. We can go ahead and end it right there. But
Sounds
Vincent,
good.
oh
Sounds
my
good.
gosh, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank
y'all
you.
have a great one. Thank y'all for watching. And oh my gosh, tune in next week when we got some more stuff coming your way.
Blessed
But
and highly
as
flavored
always,
bakery.
blessed and highly flavored is over here. And we got the dialogue over here. We love talking, having the conversation. And oh my gosh, the things we can talk about is incredible. So let me go ahead and end this show. And y'all have a good one. Take it easy, all right?
Good night, everyone.